We started that session focused on what the ecosystem looks like for access to finance for SMEs, and obviously you start by looking at who the stakeholders are. You list a lot of acronyms, DFIs, IFIs, NBFIs, there was a whole load of people that we listed out. But then we sort of moved to a bit more serious work in terms of, what are the most successful partnerships within that we see? It was interesting to see that there was only 3 really that came out. The first model of partnership was the example of WARC in West Africa in Ghana, and that sort of we characterised as a vertically integrated supply chain model, where you've got an agribusiness that's wanted to work with smallholder farmers, and in that model they found a way to work with the smallholder farmers in order to enable them to actually pay for their own inputs, and that makes them feel that they are building their own enterprise rather than being subordinate in a chain. The second one was about the rise of fintech and the collaboration between commercial banks and fintech, and the way in which fintech can offer complementary services to commercial banks and thereby allow smallholder farmers to access finance that they wouldn't otherwise be able to access if they went to a commercial bank, which we know is a huge constraint. The third example was where NGOs are working with accelerators. This doesn't always work well in practice because we highlighted the problems that sometimes NGOs have to build bankable businesses. But there are examples, and it is where accelerators need support to build their pipeline. They need that. And NGOs are in the position to help them because they are working directly with those farmers, with the farmer organisations, with the agri-enterprises, so they can do a lot of this preparatory work to get the enterprises in a position where they are then ready for an accelerator. We also looked at critical success factors. There's some things that are in common that cut across contexts. So you've got to have your missions aligned, and that's very important, and sometimes maybe we don't take enough time to do that. You've got to have a very good selection process for which agri SMEs you bring into whatever access to finance facility that you're aiming them to access. You've got to ensure that those 2 processes, mission alignment and agri SME selection, are really thought through well, and you invest time in those processes, otherwise you cause problems obviously for later on.